But Mom was always graciously waiting on people, serving gladly. In fact, she tells us the story. She immigrated into this country from Norway after World War II. And so when she got to go back, and she was 11, when she got to go back 8 years later, she met someone, and they recognized their name, and that now she's living in San Francisco. She says, oh, that's right, you're that family who runs that boarding house in San Francisco, that bed and breakfast. No, that's our home, and that spare room is my room, and I just get kicked out every time my parents find someone else who needs a place to stay. But their reputation had become so renowned for all these people, especially if you're going to come from the old country, they were going to put you up. And so hospitality became a way of life. And I can't help but think of all the times she was waiting on people, serving, opening our home, whether it be dinner guests or house guests. And it was just a great model for the accessibility of God. Doors wide open. Well, Mom taught me that God was like an avid gardener and taught me that He's like a gracious host, but also like a gentle nudge. She was the master of suggestion and subtlety. Hardly forceful, she was this compelling nudge towards right or good decision making. And I think that's eventually what began to inform and form a lot of my decision making as an adult. I think the last thing I thought of that Mom taught me that God was like was simply a generous giver. She gave her ear liberally. Her words were affirming. And she grew up financially very frugal. I guess that's what happens when you grow up rationing food. But my mom has this generous spirit, and she would express it in simple and consistent ways. That if she was in the store, and it would be little gifts or cards or notes or treats that she would either bring home or to this day send. And she has this phrase, she says, oh, I was just there, and I was thinking about you. And I think what it taught me was that Mom, like God, was never far away. Never more than a prayer or a thought or a phone call or crying out. There was this, again, an accessibility to God, and God was constantly wanting to give good gifts. So maybe our challenge today, and as I think about today, I think my mom let me grow up, and she parented well even though I never got to eat white bread. But God has taught me the same kind. I think God has that same kind of maternal love that He wants each of us to grow up and experience. So maybe the challenge is that the heart of God in all of our seeking, in all of our searching, in all of our wanting to see tangible examples of who God is and how He's working, is to find it in the nearest mom. Maybe we can put it this way. In seeking after Him, we look at her. Because the heart of God, I think, is being revealed in the heart of a mom, clearly. Most of us are going to celebrate Mother's Day somehow. Maybe it'll be a call. Maybe it'll be a brunch. Maybe you're going to exchange a card or a call today. But before you just pick up a tab, can I just give you this one little homework assignment? Give the gift of speaking a blessing over your mom today. As you dial up, and it might be a mom on the other end of a line or mom across the table, but say something like, Mom, you taught me that God was like this. I see Christ in you when. Mom, I love it when you did this. And speak that blessing over her. And I think it's one of the ways we're able to praise who God is when we see Him revealed in her. Will you pray with me? God, we celebrate your loving kindness as demonstrated through the moms in our life. I celebrate your goodness and your graciousness. But I also recognize that for a lot of us, motherhood is still being worked out and it's still being sorted through. But I pray that we would see you through all of it. And I thank you for your tangible examples, the graciousness of how you reveal yourself in this world and how you're inviting us back and parenting us back into wholeness, towards hope, towards healing and purity. We celebrate that today in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, I said that I I was going to tell on my mom, and I think I would just close by saying, let me tell on her a little bit more. Truthfully, my mom has a drinking problem. Coffee was the social drink of choice in our home. Did you think it was something else? And Mom taught me a few things about coffee, but sometimes she drinks alone. But she probably has about 5 different sittings of coffee each day. I think it comes from being Nordic and all. But she likes to sit down. She said, David, we don't like to have our dessert inside of our coffee. We like to have it outside. Okay, got to disciple me in the ways of drinking coffee. Don't give us any of this flavored stuff. And she always liked to have something on the outside. And truthfully, my mom has this sweet tooth. And so I thought, I'm going to send my mom some sweets for Mother's Day. And we ordered up some stuff and sent it to her. But rather than just stopping there, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could just gift all of our moms today with a little something, and not just any something, because once you got into Laurel's family, if you said things like See's Candy or Hershey's, that was like cuss words or something like that. I mean, those are like fighting words. It was like, or it was just plain wax. We thought, no, what could we do today that would just say, we wanted to gift you with part of what's gifted our lives. And so with the help of some family discount pricing from the Wisteria Candy Cottage, thank you very much, and an anonymous giver from within Riverbend who probably had a great motherhood experience himself, we wanted to gift each of the mothers today with a truffle from the Wisteria Candy Cottage. So on your way out, moms, we have a truffle that we would like to be able to give and just say, thank you again for what you do. Thank you for revealing the heart of God to us. Thanks for your graciousness and your patience and then your unending love. We celebrate that and we thank you for it. God bless you and go in peace.